I want to have with you today what I hope will be an adult conversation, a serious conversation. And it's a conversation where I want to put aside sort of the partisan politics of evaluating how the current administration is faring. It's a separate discussion from any particular political issue. It's a separate discussion from the perception of Donald Trump internationally, which happens to be very embarrassing, but that's not what I actually want to talk about today. We have to start really thinking about the Trump mental health concerns that are increasingly prevalent and a topic of discussion. We did a number of interviews over the last year and a half, sort of generally about this. We did an interview about Donald Trump's mental health deteriorating with Dr. John Gartner. We that interview got more than 500,000 views, clearly a topic that resonated with a lot of people. We did another interview where we had a psychiatrist indicating that actually Donald Trump's mental condition is dangerous. We did an interview where the focus was on the impact of Donald Trump's narcissism and how that presents a danger in terms of thinking about his role as president of the United States. And this is a serious enough issue where every time we talk about it, more and more mental health professionals get in touch with me and they say, yeah, David, you really need to keep talking about this. So we're actually working on getting Dr. John Gartner back on the program because unfortunately, and I do say this seriously, I'm honest when I say it's unfortunate, there's evidence that this is getting worse. And Twitter last night, another indication of the instability. I don't know if we say it's mental illness or cognitive decline, but it's certainly the erratic emotional instability of the president lashing out in a series of tweets and retweets targeting even relatively unimportant people in the grand scheme of things. For example, Tom Steyer, a rich dude who's been talking about impeaching Donald Trump for a while. Nice guy, I'm sure, successful in his career. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not super clear why Donald Trump cares that much about Tom Steyer. Donald Trump last night tweeting, quote, "Weirdo Tom Steyer doesn't have the guts or money to run for president. He's all talk." Behavior very unbecoming of the president of the United States of America. Donald Trump also last night retweeting an article from the Washington Examiner, a just totally outrageous right-wing publication. It was a Donald Trump Jr. post, which Donald Trump retweeted. And once again, the Jim Jordan, the guy who is quoted in the article, a completely disgraced and not credible extremist right-wing Republican. And again, why is Donald Trump doing this? Why is this what he's spending his time doing? We don't know. Then retweeting Don Jr.'s post of an article from the straight-up conspiracy website Zero Hedge, suggesting a conspiracy about British intelligence officer, former British intelligence officer, Christopher Steele, who you might remember was the researcher on the Trump-Russia dossier, another Trump enemy. And then tweeting about a dude named Hans von Spakovsky from the right-wing Heritage Foundation, known for his efforts to suppress voting via all sorts of voter ID and other rules that he supported. His dad happens to be Russian, doesn't seem particularly relevant to our conversation today. Donald Trump there tweeting that Hans von Spakovsky has said he's not seen evidence that Donald Trump has violated the law, and suggesting that Adam Schiff is like a modern day Joseph McCarthy. Of course, Adam Schiff, the Democrat in charge of the House Intelligence Committee. This is not the pattern of someone who is thinking clearly. This is not a rational person under any circumstances, but this is no random Twitter troll, right? This is the president of the United States. Is he taking on the behavior of a trapped rat trying to figure out whether to abandon ship and drown in the ocean or wait it out and ultimately go down with the ship? And that is where increasingly my attention is going. This noose of criminality is closing around Donald Trump. 2/3 of Americans now believe that Donald Trump is a criminal. I'll get to that polling data momentarily. And Trump is now straight up doing his Richard Nixon, I am not a crook, tweeting just a couple of days ago, quote, "I am an innocent man being persecuted by some very bad, conflicted, and corrupt people in a witch hunt that is illegal and should never have been allowed to start, and only because I won the election despite this great success." Innocent people normally welcome investigations that will clear them. Innocent people want investigations that will clear them to be carried out without interference and without obstruction so that they can be cleared. They don't do everything under the sun, including committing more crimes, to stop those investigations. This is not the behavior of an innocent person, but more importantly, this is not the behavior of a mentally healthy or stable person. And we're going to be talking to Dr. John Gartner about this again coming up pretty soon.